Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special episode of Steady Step English. I am Jessica, and I'll be your guide today.
And hello from me. I'm John. It's great to be here.
I'm so glad you could join us. Today, we're going to explore something that I think affects every single person who travels or moves to a new place.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
We're talking about culture shock.
Culture shock. I've definitely heard that phrase. It sounds a bit like jumping into cold water. That sudden surprise.
That's a really good way to think about it. It's a mix of feelings, really. Confusion, excitement, maybe a little anxiety. It all happens when you move somewhere new, somewhere the rules are different.
And you don't know the rules yet.
Exactly. To really get this, let me tell you a quick story about a traveler. We'll call him Mark.
All right, I'm listening. Where did Mark go?
Mark went to Japan for a business trip. First night, he goes to a wonderful restaurant.
Okay.
The meal was fantastic, the service was perfect, and Mark wanted to show he was grateful. So he did what many of us would do.
He left a tip.
He left a generous tip right on the table.
That sounds perfectly normal. I mean, it's a polite thing to do, right? To show thanks.
It is in many, many countries. But in Japan, well, the culture around this is very different. So Mark leaves the restaurant, starts walking down the street, and suddenly he hears someone running behind him, calling out.
Oh, no. Don't tell me he forgot his wallet.
Not his wallet. It was the waiter.
The waiter?
The waiter running, holding the money Mark had left. He was trying to give it back.
He was returning the tip. Wow. I did not expect that.
The waiter thought Mark had made a mistake, that he'd accidentally left his change. Because in Japan, tipping just isn't a custom. In fact, trying to pay more can make people feel, well, a bit uncomfortable.
So Mark's attempt to be kind was actually seen as a mistake.
Exactly. And that, right there, is the heart of culture shock. It's that moment you realize your normal isn't everyone's normal.
That makes so much sense. So your brain is working overtime to figure out these new rules for everything.
It's like your brain's operating system has to be rewritten. In your home country, you don't think about how to buy coffee or greet a neighbor. It's all automatic.
Right, it just happens.
But in a new country, every little thing needs your full attention. How do I cross the street? What coins do I use? It's exhausting.
It really is. I remember just visiting London for a few days, and even looking the right way for traffic took so much mental energy at first.
That's a perfect example, and it happens in so many areas. Let's talk about some others. What about, say, going into someone's house?
You mean like etiquette, rules for how to behave?
Yes, exactly. Let's start with shoes. In many cultures, you take your shoes off the moment you step inside a home.
Sure, I do that at my place. It keeps the floors clean.
But if a guest who isn't used to that walks right into a Japanese home with their shoes on, that's a huge taboo. It's seen as really disrespectful.
And the guest would have no idea. They'd just think they were walking into a room.
They would. What about in public, say on a train?
Oh, that's a good one. Some trains are so loud, people chatting on the phone, eating.
Very social.
Yeah.
But then you go to a place like Switzerland or, again, Japan, and the train is a silent space. If you start talking loudly on your phone,
Everyone stares at you.
everyone stares. You're breaking an unwritten rule. It can be so embarrassing.
It sounds like there's so many ways to make a mistake.
Yeah.
How do people even cope with all this emotionally?
That's the big question. And experts say it's usually a journey that happens in three main stages, three phases.
A journey. Okay. So what's the first step on this journey?
The first phase is something called the honeymoon.
The honeymoon. That actually sounds nice. Like a vacation.
It feels just like one. When Mark first got to Japan, he was in the honeymoon phase. Everything was incredible. The neon signs, the food. He found all the differences charming.
I know that feeling. You take pictures of everything. Even the mailboxes look interesting. You find yourself thinking, I could live here forever.
Precisely. You feel so proud just for learning to say hello or thank you. You might even think the people are much nicer here than back home.
But I'm guessing a honeymoon can't last forever.
It can't. Real life always begins. And that's when the novelty starts to wear off and phase 2 begins. This one is the tough one. It's called frustration.
Frustration. This is when the tired brain really kicks in, isn't it?
Yes. This is when your brain's operating system starts to crash. The little things that were charming before, now they just feel annoying.
Can you give me an example? How would this look for Mark?
Well, let's say Mark needs to go to the bank or a government office. He can't understand the forms. There's a long line of people waiting behind him.
All the pressure.
He starts to feel slow, maybe even a little stupid. He goes home feeling angry. Angry at the paperwork, angry at the system.
I can relate to that. When you can't do a simple task you've done 1,000 times at home, it makes you feel like a child again.
It does, and this is when people often start to feel homesick. They miss their food, they miss understanding jokes. They might think, why is everything so complicated here?
It sounds like a really lonely phase.
It can be. Some people give up and go home at this point, but if you can push through it, if you stay patient, you reach the third phase.
What's that one called?
It's called acceptance.
Acceptance. Okay.
Yeah.
Does that mean Mark suddenly becomes Japanese?
No, and that's a really important point. Acceptance isn't about losing your own culture. It means you understand and accept the differences. You find your new normal.
So Mark isn't angry at the confusing machine at the convenience store anymore.
Exactly. Maybe he still doesn't understand every word on the screen, but he knows which button to press. He's not stressed about it. And he definitely doesn't try to leave a tip at restaurants anymore.
He understands the system. He's got his confidence back.
Yes. And he starts to blend his old life with his new one. He finds a favorite local coffee shop where they know his order. He stops thinking of things as good or bad.
They're just different.
That's it. That's the core lesson. Different is not wrong.
That seems like the most important thing to remember.
It is. When you see something you don't understand, the goal is to shift from thinking, that's strange, to thinking, that's interesting. I wonder why they do that.
And maybe ask someone.
Absolutely. Find a trusted local friend or colleague and just ask, hey, is it okay to do this here? Most people are happy to share their culture. It helps build a connection.
This has been really helpful. It makes me see the challenges of travel in a whole new way as a chance to grow.
That's a wonderful way to put it. Growth often happens right at the edge of our comfort zone. Now, let's just summarize the key ideas we've talked about.
That's good.
Moving to a new country brings on culture shock. We usually go through 3 phases: the happy honeymoon, then the difficult frustration, and finally a sense of acceptance. The most important thing is to remember that different ways are not wrong, just different. With a little patience, you will adapt and find your new normal.
A perfect summary. I think now would be a great time for our vocabulary tour.
I agree. We have 10 words for you today. I'll say the word and you can give us a simple definition.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, our first word is etiquette.
Etiquette. That's the set of rules for polite behavior in a society.
Yes. For example, on a Japanese train, good etiquette is to stay quiet. Next up, number 2, taboo.
Taboo. That's an action or a word that's not allowed or is seen as very rude.
That's right. For example, in some cultures, asking about a person's salary is a taboo. All right, number 3 is customs.
Customs. These are the usual ways of doing things in a specific culture.
Exactly. For instance, shaking hands is a common custom when meeting new people. Number 4, homesick.
Homesick. That's the sad feeling you get when you're away from your home and family.
For example, the student felt homesick when she missed her mother's cooking. Okay, number 5, adapt.
To adapt is to change your behavior to fit into a new situation.
Perfect. For example, he had to adapt to eating dinner very late in Spain, halfway there. Number 6 is phase.
A phase is a distinct period or a stage in some kind of process.
Yes. So you could say, the first phase of moving abroad is often very exciting. Number 7, frustration.
Frustration. That's the feeling of being upset or annoyed because you can't do something.
Right, for example. She felt frustration when she could not understand the difficult forms. Okay, number 8 is a big word, bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy. That refers to all the complicated rules and official paperwork you find in government offices.
Definitely. For instance, dealing with visa bureaucracy can take a long time, almost done. Number 9 is acceptance.
Acceptance. This is the act of agreeing to a situation and feeling okay with it?
Yes. For example, after 1 year, he reached a stage of acceptance and felt happy. And our last word, number 10, context.
Context is the situation in which something happens, which helps you understand it.
Exactly. For instance, you should not touch people in a professional context in this country.
Excellent. I think those words will really help our listeners.
That's it for today. Remember, every minute you spend listening is a step closer to fluency. If you enjoyed this lesson, please subscribe and join our learning community. Before you go, I have a challenge for you. Write 1 new word you learned today in the comment field below. I will see you at our next episode at Study Step English.